Coming up on Valley News Now, the very latest from Warren, Minnesota, where a massive grain bin fire had crews fighting it all throughout the morning hours. We take you to the scene coming up.
For the first time, Fargo's interim police chief is speaking with Valley News Live. We'll let you know what our Ethan Kramer had to talk with him about and his priorities.
Plus, a West Fargo man now set to spend life in prison for child sex abuse charges. All the details of that sentencing. Valley News Now is live. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into your Valley News Now digital update. I'm Devin Fry, bringing you the very latest that we're working on in the Valley News Live newsroom today and beyond. A lot to get to today. We're going to start with the story of the morning out in northern Minnesota. Crews battling a large fire at a grain elevator in Warren. The CHS grain elevator on fire. Marshall County Sheriff's Office shut down a stretch of Highway 75 from Warren to about a mile south of the area. City again was asking residents to stay out of the way this morning. We have some video that a viewer sent in. Let me see if I could pull that up real fast. Yeah, there it is. Viewer Dar Larson sent this in. Look at the flames coming from this grain elevator fire. And again, this was something that we ran into quite a bit in the fall. These things can burn for a long, long time. Not going to be an easy cleanup out there. We sent our own Harrison Prey out to Warren this morning to cover what we know about this grain elevator fire. He takes us to the scene now with everything that he learned in his trip to Warren today. Harrison, go ahead and take it away.
Valley News Team's Harrison Prey here in Warren, Minnesota, where firefighters have been on scene since 4:15 Wednesday morning after a fire broke out at the CHS grain elevator. When crews arrived, they found the structure fully engulfed. The Marshall County Sheriff's Office shut down a stretch of Highway 75, and the city asked residents to limit water use so crews could keep enough pressure to fight the fire.
When we first showed up on scene, the structure is fully engulfed, so our main concern was on exposures and not having anything else catch fire.
Despite the intensity of the fire, no injuries have been reported. The cause remains under investigation. Crews are still on scene behind me, working to make sure this fire doesn't spread.
Thank you so much, Harrison, for that report. Again, not the easiest cleanup. There's going to be a long process now for these fires. They're going to have to be monitoring for hot spots and continue to battle this blaze as it develops. We'll keep you updated with everything we know about this situation moving forward. Be sure to stay tuned here to Valley News Now. Download the Valley News Live app. We'll have the very latest for you. As we get it, you'll have that information right at your fingertips. Now let's move on to another one of our headlines in the Valley News Live newsroom today. Some disturbing charges and a heavy sentence because of it. A West Fargo man now set to spend life in prison for sexually abusing a child. We have his mugshot right here, if we can go ahead and pull that up. Nicholas Wicca was sentenced after being found guilty on all 3 counts of gross sexual imposition. Court documents say police were contacted in July 2025 after the victim told an adult they were scared of being in the same room as Wicca. The victim said Wicca had asked to touch them multiple times and told the child not to tell anyone. Wicca was sentenced to life in prison on the 2 most serious counts and 20 years on the 3rd count as well. He will be eligible for parole consideration after serving 30 years. And then there's, of course, supervised probation if he gets out of prison. Another case that we've been following for a long time here on Valley News Live. Be sure to stay tuned for any further developments on that. Speaking of developing situations, the weather. It was 50 degrees a couple of days ago. Everyone was feeling great. Let's take a look outside right now. This is our Dakota Magic Casino sky cam. The flags, of course, whipping out there in the wind, and your eyes do not deceive you. Those were flakes that were flying by there. I just looked outside of the newsroom as I was getting ready to get onto the desk to bring you this update, and yeah, there's actual snowflakes outside. This is not an April Fool's Day joke. I wouldn't do that to you guys, and neither would our First Alert Storm Team. Speaking of our First Alert Storm Team, let's go ahead and bring them in to tell us about these weather patterns and what we can expect to see over the next few days here through a slew of First Alert weather days. Our very own meteorologist, Summer Schnellbach, joins us with what we need to know heading into this Easter weekend.
A winter weather advisory remains in place for a good portion of the region for round 1 out of our 2 rounds of snow. Round 1, we're starting to see some flakes today, but it'll ramp up by tomorrow. And we're expecting some initial melting, so it'll take a little bit for the snow to actually begin to accumulate. A general 3 to 6 inches of heavy, wet snow, and the highest snowfall rates tomorrow afternoon and evening, leading to some travel impacts. Round 2, Friday evening through the day Saturday, continuing to look like it could be more impactful. We do have that early to midday break and then more widespread heavy, wet snow and travel impacts. So here's round 1, some light snow later today, but we don't start to see accumulation likely until we get to tomorrow with that next push of moisture. Then we see those higher snowfall rates developing to the south and east with the darker blues, more scattered nature to the snow north and west. And the snow persists into late Thursday evening, early Friday morning before round 2 moves in later on Friday. We'll get to that here in just a minute. But a look at the snowfall potential for round 1. We've got 6 inches or more just grazing our region. This track could still shift a little bit. This medium blue 3 to 6, that includes the FM area. 1 to 3 for the Grand Forks area. Then round 2, by Friday afternoon, temperatures in the Southern Valley could be near or above freezing. So we're looking at some wintry mix or even a little rain initially before changing over to snow Friday night. And more dark blue indicates more heavy snowfall rates for more of the valley for the day on Saturday. Now, when it comes to snowfall potential, still a little too early to put numbers on it, but we're looking at a larger area of higher accumulation. The greatest potential for more than 6 inches comes in the purple shaded areas. We've got updates coming up with new forecast model data on Valley News Live.
Thank you for that, Summer. For those of us that need to go out of town this weekend, make sure that you're careful. Give yourself plenty of extra time to get to where you need to go, especially if you're heading out of town in these conditions. Have the Valley News Live First Alert weather app handy for everything you need to know right up to the minute as you get ready to make your way out the door for your Easter travels. They're going to have you covered there. Let's go ahead and get into some more of the headlines that we have here in the Valley News Live newsroom. A bizarre case out of Beltrami County. A Bemidji mother is facing felony charges after investigators say she used methamphetamine with her teenage daughter not once, but twice. Rebecca Rarick, who you see here on your screen, is charged with causing or permitting a child to be exposed to methamphetamine and child endangerment. Court documents say one incident happened shortly after the child had been discharged from a hospital when Rarick allegedly brought meth into her daughter's bedroom and used it with her, then left a pipe behind, according to court documents. Investigators say when Rarick heard sirens, she threw both her phones into bushes and took the child to a home that she knew was frequented by meth users, leaving the girl there alone for about an hour. Again, all of that information according to court documents filed today in Beltrami County. The child later tested positive for methamphetamine. Rarick is currently detained at the Beltrami County Jail. We'll continue to follow this case as it develops through the court system here at Valley News Live. A little bit farther into Minnesota now, a Little Falls pastor is facing 7 felony counts of criminal sexual conduct after a child victim disclosed years of alleged abuse. David Demenge, 33 years old, is charged with 3 counts of first-degree and 4 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct. Court documents allege the abuse began when the victim was under 7 years old and occurred on at least 10 separate occasions over 5 years. Demenge told our NBC affiliate in the Twin Cities, KARE 11, that he denies the charges, saying, quote, "They absolutely are severe, and lucky for me, I'm innocent," end quote. A family member told KARE that if the alleged abuse took a devastating toll on the child, saying that she went from wanting to dance and hang out with friends and be in public spaces to just being closed off. Demenge is due in court after being served this summons on May 4th is his next court date there. An update on the measles outbreak that we've been experiencing in North Dakota for months now. North Dakota health officials have confirmed the first measles case in Ransom County. Officials say the individual had not traveled recently, meaning the infection happened inside the state, and this case is not connected to the ongoing Pembina County outbreak little bit of good news there. North Dakota has now reported 27 measles cases so far this year, including 5 hospitalizations. The U.S. has seen more than 1,500 cases in 2026 alone. Health officials are recommending vaccinations for anyone who lives in or is traveling to Ransom County. Measles spreads through the air and can linger for up to 2 hours after an infected person leaves a space. Unvaccinated people, they say, are at the highest risk. Let's move on to our digital exclusive today as we come up to the end of our Valley News Now afternoon update. We're going to sit down with Ethan Kramer. Jessica Bringy and going to chat with Ethan about his conversation with the new interim chief of police here in Fargo. This is his first interview since being named the interim chief. Travis Stefanowicz taking over the position left by Dave Zabolski following his retirement. Jessica joins us with Ethan now for more on what we can expect coming up tonight on Valley News Live.
Devin, we're hearing from Fargo's interim police chief for the first time. Speaking with our own Ethan Kramer earlier today, stepping into this role, what did he have to say?
Well, he said he's excited, he's honored to be in this position as interim chief. He told me that he is planning to apply for the full-time role as chief of police, which will open in May. We talked about numerous things throughout our interview. One thing we did talk about that it's a case a lot of our viewers are interested in is the Angela Lips case, and that potential litigation against the city and whoever they end up deciding to if they follow through with it. But we talked about that case. I asked him about the email we obtained that showed the 6 detectives on that email that were made aware that Ms. Lips was in custody, and they said they weren't aware until December. That's been a big time conflict there, and he just said it's a good question. He told me. He said they have a lot of the investigation to look through. I also asked him about if when Zabolski was chief, he wasn't really willing to apologize yet for her wrongful arrest. I asked him about that. He said that when that time comes, the investigation's ongoing. He said he'd be the first person to call Angela Lips if that time comes, and they do offer an apology.
Okay, interesting. And of course, Stefanowicz has been with Fargo Police for 25 years, started as an officer. We've detailed that before, but now moving forward, moving into this new role, did he mention anything he wants to focus on? Well,
he said it's tricky because he's kind of in this interim, he's in the interim role, right? So he's in a tricky position of where, I asked him about a leadership question. How do you plan to do that? Well, he said it's kind of tricky. He's getting advice from, other leaders of departments around the area. But, he said it's tricky because, in 6 months, 5-6 months, they're going to have a chief. It might not be him if he's not hired. So it's, hard to implement a leadership style, focus on certain responsibilities when you don't have, that clarity of whether you're going to be the actual guy in 5-6 months when they make the hire.
Interesting. All right, well, we're going to have this full story once again coming up for you tonight at 6.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you, Ethan. Devin, we'll send it right back to you.
All right, thank you, Jessica and Ethan, for that report. We look forward to seeing what Ethan has coming up tonight at 6 here on Valley News Live. Stay tuned. We got shows at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. We have you covered digitally all day as well. Whether you watch your shows on your smart TV, our phone app, our website, our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, our Twitch channel, we've got you covered pretty much every variety. Whatever you want to watch us on, we're there. Let's go ahead and we're going to close things up here. We got about 7 minutes till Valley News Live at 4. Duke Schindler going to be on the desk for that, for those of you getting ready to watch on our smart TV feeds. But I want to show something pretty cool, a pretty historic day today. This is a live feed from an upcoming NASA rocket launch. You can see the rocket. It's been prepared to go all day. Again, an historic occasion today. NASA set to launch Artemis 2. This is going to be the first manned mission to the moon in more than 50 years. 4 astronauts are set to lift off from Kennedy Space Center coming up tonight around 5:24. So you might catch it live on our shows. You're going to want to stay tuned because we're going to have this live feed available all throughout the night. They're going to fly twice around Earth, then head towards the moon in a figure 8 pattern, traveling 4,700 miles beyond the far side of the moon. It's deeper into space than any human has ever been. A very cool occasion, and we're going to have that live feed for you again on Valley News Live tonight. For those of you that want to watch it, be sure to tune in around the end of the 5 and the 5:30. You'll be able to see a rocket launch. You should be watching the full 5 o'clock show, but I'm not going to preach to you here. That's not what this show is about. Thank you all for joining us for this Valley News Now digital update. We'll see you back here at the same time and same place tomorrow. Thank you all for making us a part of your afternoon. Again, make sure to give yourself plenty of extra time over the next couple of days as these first alert weather days continue. Have the Valley News Live weather app. Just stay prepared as you make your way out the door. For now, for your Valley News Now digital update, I'm Devin Fry.